How do I explain to my 7-year-old why blackface is inappropriate for Halloween costumes? Hey, father of 2 here and their mother is white and Polynesian. Straight and simple is the best way. My daughter is dark like me while my son is like her pale German mother. My daughter recently has been more aware of their skin tone difference now that she's almost 8. Last Halloween she wanted him to dress up as the little boy from Encanto, but mentioned his skin tone. Here's what I said, verbatim, a long time ago, and still sometime today. People used to and will make fun of people with dark skin. Many people who were white-skinned like mommy would paint themselves black to make fun of darker-skinned people, like me. So out of respect, we do not paint our faces the skin color of other people. She understood instantly and actually replied, people are mean sometimes. Kids are smarter than we give them credit for. You could tell them that blackface was a way that white people used to make fun of black people, and it isn't nice. In an age-appropriate way, it might help to explain the history of how blackface was used by white performers for years to mock and belittle black people and culture. The idea of historical context informing our actions today might be tricky for a 7-year-old, but at least she'll understand that blackface is different from whiteface somehow. Show her and tell her the history. By her age I was already called a nigger on the playground and had a full conversation about race and race relations with my parents. She can handle the truth. Maybe even watch the movie again as an example of the discrimination when they bankers wouldn't let her buy the restaurant. It's okay to teach your children about race. Let me rephrase that. You should teach your kids about race. Our Skin is a great book that addresses race and racism in an age-appropriate way. This one is pretty straightforward. People have painted their whole face black in order to hurt or make fun of people with darker skin tones. We respect other people, and part of that is making sure our actions don't hurt other people. So even though that's not what you're trying to do, painting your face all black will hurt the feelings of a whole group of people. Signed, elementary school counselor. I wish the whole world was as innocent as your daughter. Then this would never even be a thing. Yeah, I'd be amazed by the number of adults who need this explained to them also. I told my daughter what it is. She's white passing and wanted to look like her best friend in kindergarten that human skin colors aren't costumes, and a long time ago, and still, even today, some white people and even other races say and do hurtful things to people who aren't the same color or ethnicity to them, and they used to paint their faces and dress rudely and pretend to be the worst ever made-up version of whatever group of people they were making fun of. It's just not a nice thing to do. People's skin colors aren't costumes. And specifically with black people, people are still basically picked on for everything about being black. It's okay to think others are beautiful, but we aren't going to steal their beauty for ourselves. I'd if I did it right, but she seemed to understand and still does. When mine wanted to be Winston Zeddemore, and I needed to explain the same compared to the year before when he was a silver-painted tin man, I explained that some people use blackface to hurt people's feelings, and that we humans have a responsibility to treat others respectful. That if even one person saw it as hurtful, would it be worth it? He came to the decision himself. We don't paint our faces dark to look like Tiana, because some very mean people used to paint their faces like that, and it was because people who looked like Tiana weren't allowed to be actors. Painting our faces to look like people who look like Tiana reminds them of those bad times, so we don't do it. Simplistic, but should be understandable to a 7-year-old. Would it be okay to put makeup on her? I wonder if you asked questions to understand what she means by painting her face. I am totally guessing here, but I don't think she means paint her face black, at least how I picture blackface. I have learned the more you ask questions and get them thinking and talking, you'll realize we have an adult perspective, and they don't always know how to articulate exactly what they are thinking. Black PPL used to be made fun of really bad by PPL painting their faces black, so if you do it, they'll think you're making fun of them and it'll hurt their feelings. ITT a whole bunch of white people telling you it's racist to do something while speaking for black people, which is kinda racist. I'm happy your daughter has a loving parent who wants to teach her to be respectful to others. You already got her off to a good start. Make it very simple. Maybe saying something like, mean people used to make fun of people not like them by putting on makeup to look like them as a joke. So we don't change our skin color for costumes because it may remind them of how they used to get made fun of. All this still not getting to the part that people of different races still deal with this hateful type of behavior daily. Pretty sad. But parents like you that are taking these things seriously is what we need to move forward. Stop repeating these hateful cycles. Just tell her the truth that many people have done that to make fun of or be mean to darker skin color people. We know that she wouldn't be doing it for that reason, but because so many other people have done it to be hurtful, we just don't do that anymore, so there's no confusion, and so no one gets hurt by it accidentally. Your daughter can go as her without coloring her skin. Make sure she has the frog. That's the most important part. I would suggest to be honest and truthful and factual. Your choice of facts is the part to be focused on. Like explain that, because of certain people using it in a way to insult others, it is now considered bad for anybody to do it. Bunch of other commenters already touched on the skin thing, but I wouldn't see any issue with her changing her hair a bit darker with one of those temporary mousse dyes. The main issue is it might stain for a few weeks, but nobody gets mad about changing hair color, and she might also see just the hair as a good compromise to be more like Tana without painting her skin. Non-American here, but we've had some changes in traditions recently. We talked about it openly why this is considered racist and how much it has hurt people. I mean, I had trouble getting my nearly 50-year-old boss to understand.